midnight session, the morning.
Good morning, everybody. Everybody else is in Vegas but us, and I'm jealous. Good morning, good morning. We've got Paulie here with us this morning. How you doing, Paulie?
He's quiet.
Great.
He's probably busy.
Awesome. We also have Culture Casino here. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me again. It's good to see everybody this morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
Even though I know at times it's going to be appalling today.
Is it going to be appalling or just
there you
appalling?
go. I don't know.
Speaking of appalling, we have Paul Chatto here.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. Monday.
It is Monday. And we also have Chris Brawley here. How you doing?
Hello. Back
And
from
of course-
Illinois. Happy to be here.
Oh, you were in Illinois. You weren't that far from me. And then, of course, we also have Andre the Boss Man. How you doing?
Hey, greetings. I'm good. I spent the weekend moving. I'm in my new office right now. Still work in progress, though. Still working on sound issues. Haven't been able to install webcam just yet, so no cam today, although that will be back by Wednesday, hopefully. By then, hopefully, I'll sound better, too.
There you go. So, yeah, you sound a little different. So we'll see how you can get the sound working over there. But it's sounding a little different.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
So-
mentioned it before the chat mentioned it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Oh,
it's kind of difficult to pretend like nothing when I'm suddenly not on camera and sound different. No, I'm not taken over by AI. Just moved house.
indeed. Let's see what you guys are talking about out there in the chat this morning. Hello, I see some regulars already. We got Walter Tomaszewski here sending in $1.99. Says, will the Paramount Warner Brothers deal derail the last minute? I mean, nothing is set in stone until it's set in stone.
At least Sharon Stone.
Exactly. What do you guys say?
I think the comment about Sharon Stone made me have a PTSD moment because Sharon Stone recently reenacted her Basic
saw that.
Instinct photo.
Yeah, well,
On
only
purpose?
partially. Only partially. She didn't go
Okay.
all the way now, did she?
No,
Then you really would have had PTSD.
it was slow down, Granny. Hang on a minute. It was not-
So she went for the full Monty.
well, not quite, but it was a reenactment of sorts. I don't think it's going to derail. I think they're going to work it out. Honestly,
I think that the 1,000 actors supposedly that signed a petition to prevent it from finishing aren't going to have any effect. There's too much financial at stake. And I think the shooting properly for the end of July, as they are, with the vote happening on the 23rd, which is in 10 days from now.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have the answer soon enough. Zaslav is not going to get his payday though, which I think is kind of funny. He wants his $500 million, but he may not get it.
Well, I think that, so 1,000 people signed a petition. When has big business ever cared about 1,000 people signing a petition? I mean, 100 times that signed the petition to renew Star Trek Enterprise. That didn't work. So, no, the petition itself isn't going to mean a single thing. What is going to matter
I think
is
the
what
question is
kind
more
of-
about the regulatory.
I was about to say, is what kind of resistance can be done from a regulatory point of view, and that's it. If no sufficient resistance can be offered there, it's going to go through. Simple as that. And I think that the path should be reasonably clear, because if it wasn't, there's no way the Ellisons would have given all of these guarantees that this is going to go through. And if it doesn't, we're going to pay all of these penalty fees to the shareholders, which is going to cost them quite a lot. And that's in addition to already having to buy out Netflix at the tune of several billion. So, I think they know something we don't, and it's probably going to go through.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would be concerned, but that's just me. Hey, Paulie, what do you think?
Hey, good morning. What's happening? Happy Monday.
Yeah.
I just walked in, so I gotta listen to more of your conversations. But
Oh, it's the
glad to be
super
on the
chat's on
panel.
the screen. Yeah.
no, it's not.
It's not going to derail, meaning it's
No,
going to
it's
go
not
through.
going to derail. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to
Yeah,
make.
that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, it's
And,
not going to make some of the Hollywood folks happy, but say la vie.
Right. And those bozos, they just signed like 100 heavyweight celebrities.
Yeah.
Sign a letter.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys are
no.
about 10 years too late.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have done that for the Fox Disney deal, to be fair. But
Well,
Yeah, and
what
it would have mattered even then.
it wouldn't
No.
have mattered, but I think their credibility with their fans and with audiences would be a little different if they use their platforms for stuff like this and not the other stuff. Because you could, I'm all for people being advocates for their profession. Absolutely, 100%. Right, but y'all are too late because you guys been spending time with the Ruffalos and doing and saying goofy things that got nothing to do with your business, with your profession. And here, I'm sorry, guys, you guys are too late. Whether I agree with you or not, with their letter.
are you saying that goodwill, they've expended all their goodwill?
Absolutely,
Oh, okay.
absolutely. I mean, that's a generalization, but I think on the whole, I'm pretty much behind that. There are obviously celebrities that do a lot of good anonymously. The Gary Sinises,
Yeah.
obviously he that's more public, but there are a lot of Sinises out there that just keep their nose down.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys are just silly thinking that they have any say in regards to this deal happening.
They should pony up some cash.
Well, some of them have money.
Some
No,
of them
yeah,
do.
So don't complain if you want to change the deal, then put a consortium together and buy it.
Well, I think on small levels they do that with their own projects that they get
okay.
funding for, or of late they'll put together their own film councils,
Right.
which I'm an advocate for if it means you're greenlighting new material.
Wow, wouldn't that be neat?
Yeah.
If come to think about it, isn't that how we got United Artists?
And DreamWorks.
Yeah, I mean, SKG. You get the best and the brightest minds that think they can make an impact, and they went out and they put their money where their mouth is, as Paulie's suggesting. I agree with you. I think you don't want somebody to own Warner Brothers, buy it yourself. Some of you have billions, not very
Netflix
many.
tried, but they didn't. They were going to overpay for it. That was what it was. I mean, I honestly wish that the regulatory commission would step in on this, because I don't think this is going to be the big deal or the good deal that everybody thinks it's going to be. I don't trust Ellison. There's been nothing that gives me any hope or promise that this is going to be the change that everybody's hoping for. I don't think they're going to get 30 movies out a year. I just don't see it happening.
Oh, but wait, Tom, you got to be excited because, I mean, all the Snyder Bros are going to be, back in it.
I mean, I remember 2 months before the deal, when the deal was basically Ellison was the enemy because he was not going to get rid of Gunn and Peter Safran and all those guys. But now all of a sudden he is. It just goes to show you these people don't know shit. Like, it's just a bunch of trust me bro bullshit that's out there that nobody knows nothing about nothing. And what was something I said months ago? Don't trust anything unless it comes from the mouths of David Zaslav, James Gunn, or fucking Pam Abdi or Mike DeLuca at this point, or in this case, Ellison. Because even him, I wouldn't believe a fucking word he says.
And even if it's James Gunn, take it with a massive grain of salt.
James Gunn is just going to say what James Gunn is going to say, because he's the fucking head of DC, and I wish everybody would quit thinking that he's a bigger person in Warner Brothers than he really is. Peter Safran is the one that carries the weight in
he's
the
the business guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
James is just the creative. He
Yeah,
may
he's all-
act like he's bigger than he really is, but look, let's be real.
Is he? Is he the creative?
I
Look,
think-
that can be debated. I'm not going to argue that, but
yeah, Tom's right. He is the creative head, but I think there's a committee behind him.
I do too, and that's why I put a lot more credence in what Michael and Pam are doing. In fact, I really kind of appreciate some of the things that they've greenlit in the last few months. They had a really successful year last year. You look at 2025; it was a big year for Warner Brothers. So,
well, I don't think that Ellison is going to get rid of that team just yet. So we'll have to see how this all works out.
Yeah.
But the regulatory commission, I think, is the bigger deal. But I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem.
me either.
I think you guys are right. I think the wheels have been greased. So we'll see, Walter. And then we got Captain Fandom Nerd, who's been here for 56 friggin' months. That's a long ass time.
Captain,
Thank you, Captain.
he's been around
And then
long.
Ruby Hoove gifted a membership. Thank you for that,
Thank
Ruby
you,
Hoove.
Ruby Hoove.
Patrick Robinson sends in $4.99 to say
Hey.
Faces of Death 2026 is probably my favorite horror movie of the year so far. 9 out of 10. Didn't know what to expect from it. I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around this thing.
Yeah, how did they
I don't know what to
resurrect?
call this thing because it's not a fake documentary like the original.
Right, it's just a straight up horror movie.
I guess,
Because I mean, how do you resurrect the?
but I guess it treats the Faces of Death like it's a thing in the movie world. I don't know.
I
My
have
buddy
a
saw it yesterday.
suggested title for it. Cash grab.
Oh,
That's yeah.
It is made because, yeah, it's different. Kudos to the filmmakers for doing something relatively original, unique. But it is made because someone had the rights. Here's a brand. We can do it super duper ultra cheap. And here's a brand. It's not a big brand, but it's sufficiently big brand. It's going to get us some more press than if we did the exact same thing with a completely different title.
yeah.
It probably was something else with a completely different
That's what
title,
I'm
and they just
thinking.
slapped that name.
That's
I
what I'm
don't know.
thinking. A
Maybe
completely
not, but
different thing. Because from everything I've heard, it is so conceptually different. It might as well have been a completely different thing.
yeah.
You know,
So this is an in name only, wherein it is a
Well,
skin suit situation.
It's kind of like that. It's like a TikTok. Somebody on TikTok or some kind. It's a different platform. Obviously, it's not called TikTok, but
Yeah.
she sees what looks like one of these videos, right? And then she sees another one, and it's kind of related to her
So
having.
Telegram done.
I
Well, she
can't
was
remember if it
kinda-
treats it.
Well, she accidentally uploaded a shot. This is the one I remember of her sister getting killed on a train track.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the video I remember really just hit me in the original, that footage. So it's just playing around with it, but it's more like
I don't know if it's treating Faces of Death like the movie actually existed or it's just like an urban legend kind of thing.
yeah, they're just playing
It's
with it.
kind of fast and loose there, but I mean, hey, Patrick enjoyed it. So,
Good for Patrick. Yeah.
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 also, also a couple other friends of mine enjoyed it as well.
Okay.
It was really entertaining, and one of my buddies who saw it, he's pretty critical of a lot of stuff.
really.
So he says it was fairly entertaining. That's what I got from him.
Yeah,
So,
well, cool.
Another thing, I don't think this is spoilery, but it's a serial killer aspect, and the serial killer was inspired by the original Faces of Death videos. So make of that what you will.
No, that's it. That would actually work. I kind of like
Yeah.
that as
Yeah, it might work out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
good reviews, I guess.
Sadder part at the end of the day, I think the only thing is that it's just using the Faces of Death as a
In name only. Yeah.
in name
yeah.
only kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I'll
It's-
check it out eventually.
It's 2/3 of the people that have seen it, including critics, have given it a favorable review. So
That's
That's
good.
saying a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle says, "Good day, all." I haven't decided if it's good yet, Flying Blind, but when I do, I will let you know. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for being here. And then we
Everyone
got Jason.
wait. Everyone
ever
wait.
optimistic. Ever
Right,
optimistic.
we gotta wait till what Tom feels about the day, and then we're gonna go about it.
Yeah, it's not. I haven't been up long enough yet. Jason Webster sends in 5 Australian, says 67. I'm gonna screw this up. Boksang Award, Arts Award.
Oh,
Buck Sang. I don't know.
dang.
Most nominations: No Other Choice 7, The King's Warden 7. That's a lot of series where they've gotten to the number 7 already. The World of Love 6, and Good News 5. Well, that's something you'd never see in an American awards thing, is a bunch of sequels.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we don't do reboot calls.
No. This is most nominations. No Other Choice got 7.
Oh, duh. Thank
least that's
God
how I would
Paulie's awake.
Yeah,
Well,
the
I
guy,
think-
the guy
I like-
whose English is a second language got it.
He got the context. The rest of us are like,
excuse me, Tom, but I think you wrote that wrong.
Yeah, and I don't know how he bamboozled you to think that English was his second language, but he could barely order a Taco Bell. Let's be real. Paulie doesn't speak much more Spanish than I do.
Let me tell you something. I was out
Getting
there
better.
with a neighbor this morning. Right now,
You're
doesn't speak a
getting
lick of English. A poor old lady, and she's got no teeth. And she was telling me that the other night she fell. She had and she's got a golpe. She got a thing in the back of her head. I could not make out half of what she said, but I got the gist. So hey.
Yeah.
My C plus level Spanish got me through that
I
conversation.
never understand a word. I just go by the emotion.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
When I was in Jamaica, I was approached by a toothless street lady who offered me services, and she said, "I'm doing great blowjob." I went, "Yeah, I'm sure you do."
Wow.
And that's when you went and found some change. Yeah.
There you go. I said, "I'm
Shut
sorry,
yourself a
but
blowjob.
I choose not to make use of your services." And she says,
Oh,
"Well,
you lie.
the local priest uses me." And I said, "Well, maybe that's not the faith, that's not the faith that I want to get involved in." And
Oh,
she
Lord.
said, "Well, then give me money." And I said, "Well, you haven't done anything for me." And she said, "You won't let me."
I
Uh,
regret so many things in my life, and that story is one of them. So,
Sorry.
Well, there are many
Uh.
fun things with local priests. Though.
I mean,
in Norway,
let's-
local priests are known to engage in moonshine, however illegal that may be. But
nice.
yeah,
well, that's yeah. Connor Dory and Charlie Minks is here. How you doing? Sends in 5, says, "Did you see that Don Mancini is finally making a Scary Chucky movie for movie theaters?" I did. And I don't understand the quote because it's been quoted so many different ways. So what he said is they're in the middle of making a movie. It is going to be more in the vein of Curse of Chucky, not, goofy. It's going to be more scary, but it will acknowledge the show, I guess, is my understanding. I'm at this point where I'm like, no, you just forget the fucking show. 12 people watched the show. Okay, nobody gives a shit.
Associated with the show a little bit though.
What was that?
Wasn't the creator Mancini?
Oh yeah. He's been in
on the
control
show,
of this for years. Like
yeah. Okay.
he's had full control over Chucky since basically Child's Play 2.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, we did a video years ago about how basically Feifel of American Tail is the reason why Child's Play is over at Universal with the help of Steven Spielberg. It's kind of a semi-interesting story, but yeah, since then, Don Mancini has had complete control over Chucky, and for better or worse, has done for the most part pretty good. But that TV show, especially the last 2 seasons, went completely batshit crazy off. You talk about camp. Holy shit. Did it go fucking over the edge with camp and overly gay? Like just really leaned into it.
Seed of Chucky for sure was.
Oh, Seed of Chucky is fucking quaint by comparison. I'm not even kidding. At least Seed of Chucky's enjoyable from the standpoint of like, this is basically if John Waters had decided he wanted to make a Chucky movie, and it just so happens to be ironic that he's in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically the funny part about Seed of Chucky. Other than that, it's like, no, it went downhill from there other than a couple more movies, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know. We'll see how much more Brad Dourif has left in him.
Yeah, right. This is Chucky verse though. It'll all be connected somehow.
We only have a few more minutes with the culture, though.
Yeah, so
we
get
do?
to the numbers.
Oh, nobody told me that.
Oh man,
It was in the
thing.
chat. It was in the
30 minutes.
Where?
It's in the Prime.
I
Andre,
don't
what's
see
going on?
anything from where
Andre, this guy named
culture
Andre.
has
Culture
approximately. Oh,
approximately
I've
30
just now read that.
It's okay.
minutes.
It's not going to take very long. There
Yeah,
was a-
Well,
Project Hail
let me
Mary.
read this, and then we can go on.
All right.
Jason Webster says 67 Bucks Song Awards because he likes to hear me fucking butcher these.
Yeah.
Most nominations. Now he says, you and Everything Else. Is that a sequel to Everything Everywhere All at Once? It got 7. Our Unwritten Soul. He's got 6. The Art of Sarah got 3, and Bon Appetit, Your Majesty, got 3. There you go. Thank you, Jason Webster, for the update. And Jay Price has been here for 29 months, and the Tweaky Kid has been here for 60 months.
Wow. Beady,
And then, just to get things
Maybe.
moving along here, because Culture Casino's the star of the show.
I'm
Today.
I'm just
not. I'm
kidding.
not.
We could, yeah, no, I'm not kidding. What's going on here? Mario won again.
Yeah, of course. And look, this was a no-brainer beginning to end. And the fact that it almost made $70 million again in its second weekend is not surprising to anybody who's been paying attention to the world. But the numbers that they're pulling in average per theater, you're looking at $16,000. Anybody who said this thing was going to fall off a cliff was wrong. 69, almost 70 million, only fell off compared to last weekend by 48%. So normally we have a steeper decline at films that open this big. And of course, second place is still going to be a massive film in its own right, Project Hail Mary. So between two films right now, you have $1.1 billion in total box office globally between these two films.
Oh,
I'm very disappointed with Amazon right now at the moment. What is going on?
What is happening right now?
who was that?
Yeah, what was that noise?
No, it's not me.
That was
That was
me.
weird.
Yeah.
God damn it, Paul.
Electricity.
$629 million global currently for the Super Mario film. Project Hail Mary crossed 500 million. So we're looking at the two films that are going to drive into the summer box office. So congratulations to them.
Well, here you have probably one of the biggest original hits we've had in how long? And Amazon is going through with this. Remember I told you guys that this thing was going to be out by the end of the month? It is. It's going to be out April 28th on streaming, PVOD.
Yeah.
And then it'll be out on Amazon and video by the end of May.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, Amazon?
Well,
Jesus. I swear, I've never seen so many people go, fuck money. Like,
Netflix does it too.
But they're going to make money though once it goes.
I know, but it's just this crippling thing that I keep seeing. It's like, you idiots.
Yeah.
You have something. Who gives a shit? Just at this point.
Listen, Tom, someone here mentioned what the math is, that the longer they keep it in the theater, the larger the percentage they give to the theater.
That was
So
me.
they-
That was me. I made that
Yeah.
point, actually.
Yeah,
But
so it
at
makes
this
sense
point-
to yank it before they get more money.
Yeah, but we're talking about going to the movies.
No.
I'm saying, like, you got to rebuild
This
this
is
thing
Amazon.
right now, man. Like, you got something that you could sit there and keep dangling in front of people going, we don't know when this thing's going to drop on streaming. They should have kept doing that, made it worth something, so that when Amazon finally did, like Christmas time, like they used to, it actually would mean something because people have been waiting and fucking waiting and fucking waiting for it. Like, that's the thing they've taken away, and that's what makes movies worthless now. They're just completely fucking worthless. They have no
But if the
lifespan
math-
whatsoever.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if the
Cheeto.
math is in
Yeah,
your table
Cheeto.
to yank it, then they're going to do
It
it.
is. I'm the one who made that point, Paul, and I totally understand it. But at this point, I'm just going, I've never seen a business in their entire life, and this goes across the board. This isn't just Amazon or anything. I've never seen a business model in my entire life where they go, fuck money. Where they literally
I
just
have.
so, well, please, Andre,
Disney.
expand,
Yeah.
because at
Disney.
this point, well, that's the
There's a
same
name
business.
for this. There's a name for this in business. It's called tragedy of the commons, which is basically, like, there are many different ways to describe it, but the real simple story here is that if you work together, if you share some of the profits with others, everyone wins. And long term, it's going to be more for everyone. But you're not concerned with long term. You're concerned with the next fiscal quarter. You're concerned with what you are directly responsible for. You are concerned with your own short-term gains. Your short-term interest is maximizing theatrical revenue when you can, and the moment theaters get a bigger cut, and when the thing is still hot, so it's going to be the biggest thing on streaming, that's when you yank it. Now, of course, this is horrible for the industry as a whole, but for the individual executive doing this, it's good because it helps their short-term bottom line, elevates their bonus, and kills the entire industry flat in the process. That's the tragedy of the commons.
I think you're absolutely right, Andre. There's a marker that happened here. They needed to cross 500 million to start making a profit at the theaters. They did that. They're 510 for global. So they're over the 500
for which film?
For Project Hail Mary.
Okay.
Because they had, if you calculate it, it's closer to 248 million was the total budget with P&L. So you've got 510 global, and Amazon just upped the rates for 4K. So they're going to get that video on demand money. They're going to get those sweet 4K upgrades for this. I think they've done the math, and they know, man, we're going to make more money as soon as this thing gets on video, on home streaming, and they made the decision. But you're right, it's Amazon. They don't care about the theatrical experience. They're just tapping into wherever they're going to get some money and moving on. I mean, they're no different than Disney or Netflix in that regard, I think.
But
Well-
I want to add one thing, and that is this whole idea of a successful box office that then moves over to streaming is a fairly new concept. We've had nothing but terrible box office, and then it moves to the inevitable streaming regardless. This is new. The fact that we have a box office generated by streamers as the producers or as the studio that's actually successful. This is a new thing. Let's see how this plays out if this continues as a trend.
Well, I think it will, because as I said last week, and I think Tom will agree, MGM Amazon is releasing, I think, 13 total films into theaters this year.
Brilliant.
And one of them already was a massive flop. It was called Crime 101 with Ruffalo in it.
Right.
Oh, that's a good film.
But, well, it didn't do well at the box
No,
office.
it was a flop, but it was really good.
Yeah.
It was good. Okay.
So as I look through all of these, I think Tom's hit upon something, but I think you're also correct, Paul. I think you're right. We need to take a wait and see to this, because Amazon may start to realize that, hey, we have something that can make us even more money, despite the fact that we're going to turn around and stream it anyway. They may change their mind. They may extend their window. They're again, Motu's coming up, right? In what, 2 months, 3 months? What do we get in Motu?
Yeah, and the thing is it has a chance, but it's coming up against some of the stiffest competition of the year in Scary Movie 6. And my reasoning, and I get it, I agree with everything you guys are saying. Like I said, I was the one who initially made the point of this is why the studios are doing this said thing. It's what happened to Superman. It's what happened to all these other movies. And to me, all it's doing is hurting the films in the long run. And I agree with you guys. I see why they're doing it. But at the end of the day, for how long is this going to work? And is it going to be just a novelty to the point where you've just gotten to where it's like people just don't give that much of a shit about movies anymore? Because we already have one generation that's lost on movies. We haven't talked about that enough. There's an entire generation that just said, fuck movies, and they don't go. And it's the next generation coming up behind them that are pretty much keeping movies alive and our age. That's it. So unless they find a way to get that crowd that's about to be the most, the 25 to 35 crowd, they're fucked for a while.
You want the 18 to 24 as well.
Yeah, but they already have the younger kids. They have the older people. They don't have that middle group that's about to be the biggest spenders.
I think
yeah, there's a lot. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Culture.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I think that the success of Minecraft movie, the success of the first Mario movie, and this one, I think is really gonna, get kids back in the theaters, because the parents can go and do something with their kids. That's been missing from theaters ever since we went through COVID. And you have poor examples of that in Hoppers and its dismal earnings.
Well, Project Hail Mary was another point for a family film that nobody expected it to do this well, I don't think.
No, and I think the filmmakers even made it more accessible to the audiences. Just watch it again, and it's a very, at the end of the day, a very uplifting film. Wonderful performance by Gosling. But yeah, there's a lot of great stuff that you guys are saying here in regards to these different films that are hits by streamers. This is a absolutely new trend that came out of COVID. You're absolutely right. And then you're seeing here in the top 10 a lot of originals that didn't cost a lot of money to make. Some are doing well and some aren't.
Well, at the end of the day, I think, despite me throwing the shade that I do at Zendaya, the drama is almost at break even now with its total earnings at 30. It'll get globally. I think it's going to touch on $100 million by the end of the official numbers this afternoon, globally. And then You, Me, and Tuscany is the one that the industry is pushing right now because, well, racism, but that's a whole different conversation. But that one had a really cheap budget, and exactly what you're saying there, Paulie. These films with cheap budgets are going to do, okay business, and then they'll make a successful transition to streaming. But 8 million, that's not too bad for You, Me, and Tuscany, and not a whole lot of promotion anywhere that I saw. Regardless, Hoppers, Disney's left this in there for a while. Disney's leaving things to cook for a while because they really know that the people are down on them and their box office earnings. So 157 million domestic in 38 days is not something to jump around about, but the shills are still shilling. And then
The global is not too bad on Hoppers.
Say again?
The global's not bad on Hoppers.
In comparison to the promotional budget and the cost, that film's going to have a hard time making money.
Well, I'll leave that to you.
Yeah. But BTS World Tour, this is the other thing that I think, and I think Tom, you touched on this before I took my little hiatus from the show when the time changed. We talked about it. BTS and these live concert events are going to really make an impact at theaters. People are going to go see these event films, and they're going to do well. Taylor Swift proved it. BTS can prove it. There's a lot of stuff like that. And I think we're going to see more and more of it. So anyway, Faces of Death earned in only 1,600 theaters, 1.7 million. Exit 8, the Exit 8 was 1.4 million. There were a lot of new films in theaters this weekend. You, Me, and Tuscany, BTS World Tour, Faces of Death, the Exit 8. I mean, and they're falling into the top 10.
Yeah.
So that's always a good sign. The Great Awakening is 10 weeks in at 1.2. I mean, the top 10 films made $1 billion or more. And that's not always the case if you look at last week's earnings. Because again, a lot of these new entry films, there's 4 in all. I mean, that's a huge upgrade than what we've been getting. And then we scroll down through the rest of the also rans, anything under $1 million. And we get down to the bottom here and we realize there were only 29 box office reported films that were opening, in theaters that people could go and see. That led to $126 million, which is, again, the magic number in Hollywood's $100 million or they should say not in Hollywood, but in the exhibitor world. And so, but then you go back and you realize that 69 plus 24 is most of the box office earnings. That should be really concerning.
I did get to see Ready or Not 2. I really liked it.
Oh, okay. See, I was hoping you would come back with a positive review.
Lot, it just picks up from the first one.
From the first film, yeah.
Samara Weaving, Elijah Woods added to it. Yeah, I mean, sometimes good movies just get lost. Like they're just, despite the marketing, despite the maneuvering, it's a good dark comedy horror film. And then of course, the drama and you and Me, Tuscany there's like so much conversation behind these films. But whether you're fans of these actors or not, I think the positive thing is that these original stories made cheaply by Hollywood studios, and bringing in different crowds.
I hope Halle Bailey has a good outing here, because the Yumi and Tuscany movie. I hope she has a good outing here because hopefully she's treated better than she was treated during the Disney fiasco. But that's an entirely other conversation.
She's a class act, very talented,
Yeah.
very beautiful. The review we gave for Yumi and Tuscany was that it's charming, but it's pretty, by the book. It's not like anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, you can't expect much out of a rom-com other than that, right?
right. It costs what, 18 million. Maybe it'll make its budget back. I think it definitely underperformed. They wanted it to do better.
Who's
But
in it?
the thing is that Barry is not a big name yet. So that's
No.
that's that was a lot to ask of her. to
Yeah,
put this
and
on
a
her
lot of
shoulder.
people can't even say the co-star's name.
Oh God, stop!
Wait, well, why?
What does that have to do with anything?
No, I didn't recognize the actors. That's
He's-
all I'm saying. So I don't recall seeing him in anything before. So, and I stumbled over the name a few times the other day. So I was like, okay.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, it's no shot at the guy. I'm just saying, I just struggled. Regardless, like you said, the thing that worries me the most is that it's two films making the vast majority of the box office, and this is not a good place to be. And I think that Hollywood should be awake, because I think that theaters are. I think
Yeah,
that
but this has been.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just
No,
going to say,
please.
this has been a common problem since COVID or even prior
Yeah.
to COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, I mean, I want to look at the positive things. Like I said, 4 newcomers this week that made it into the top 10. That's a good sign.
I mean, it's not a horrible box office. Some of the newer films did respectable. Faces of Death being only on 1,600 screens and doing 1.7 is not bad. Like you said, BTS.
Yeah.
Those kind of movies are going to do well right now. Yumi and Tuscany shows that if you make movies for women, they will go see it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of when I was dragged to see fucking Under the Tuscan Sun instead of
Aw.
School of Rock.
Aw.
Oh my God, I'd never so mad at a date in my life.
Did you at least get some at the end of the night?
Oh.
Not really, I don't think. I don't know. I just remember being really pissed at the movie.
Then I would. That's why you're so pissed.
That's why he's angry. That's all he cares about.
Oh yeah, because I hate 50 Shades of Grey, but I know that movie. I remember that movie got me laid. But I just remember watching that movie going, how can a movie about BDSM be this fucking boring?
As cute as I think Dakota is, I think she's a real boring actor as well.
Well, it's just, I'm not even going to get into that. That movie's just a dumb, yeah.
Okay.
Anyhow, yeah, I mean, I just find it here's the thing is, like, I know Amazon has no real reason to help Hollywood, but they do at the end of the day, because this is what I've been saying for a while, to make these movies worthwhile, to make them feel like they're an event, to make them stick around, to have a lifespan, you can't be putting them in theaters and pulling them after 36 days. It's not going to last forever. People are just going to go, yeah, whatever. I don't need to go see it in the theater. I can wait fucking 2 weeks and it'll be on, PVOD or Amazon. Like, why should I see it now?
Can I point out another interesting phenomenon that I noticed that I was going to make an entire video about, but I didn't? Nobody cares about spoilers anymore. So nobody's like pressed, to go see anything right away when it releases.
Well, that's
So-
I think I blame the people watching video game walkthroughs. I would never watch a walkthrough prior to playing a video game. Now everybody watches the complete walkthrough of a video game and then play it. Like, to me, we're living in a ridiculous society. Oh no, most of the kids, they don't want to have to puzzle through the puzzles.
No.
They don't
Oh, man.
want to have to figure out where the building is that's going to get them the thing that's going to let them move to the thing. They don't want it. That's all gone. This is the same thing. So they want to see the entire spoilers. Then they want to go, if maybe they want to go see the movies. But we haven't figured this out yet. This is new territory. Don't forget, we didn't have multiplexes of any large dimension until 1979 when we opened up an 18 theater multiplex in Toronto. How did the theaters and how did the movies and how did the studios make a living on single screen theaters up to that point?
That's a weird. That's a weird.
People went to theaters. More people went to theaters.
Yeah,
up until very recently, up until the last 10 years.
Because it's like fucking expensive.
I mean,
Wouldn't
even
you
like
say that
the first Scream movies, even though the last one has made the most money, look at like the people, the actual attendance that went. That's why if you adjusted, Gone with the Wind is still like the most attended.
Yeah, Paulie's not wrong because like
ever.
technically, even though the new Scream movie has made more than the other films, you gotta like you go back and you look, it's made the same amount of money basically that the first three did in the theater.
Right, and that's the argument.
But
that
that's
I
without,
had.
but without inflation, Paul. That's
No,
the whole
but-
point. Yeah,
If we're going to, if not we, if the business is going to be revived, you've got to get more people there, and you have to make it more communal. Making a shit like, why not just charge $1 million per ticket and hopefully 10 people show up to the goddamn movie? I mean, you need numbers to make it feel like it's a thing to do.
you're not wrong, Paul. I agree with you. I agree with you because
we're all
go ahead,
agreeing
culture.
here, yeah.
Culture. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say that you can't just look at inflation from like, yeah, it's going to inflate the box office numbers. You can just look at inflation as that in order to live as a citizen in the United States or Canada back in the 70s that you're talking about before the massive expansion of the multiplex and the malls,
Right.
you could live on a decent amount of money that you can't live on today. The dollar value has dropped across everything. So people don't have the kind of entertainment dollars they used to have. They don't have the kind of go out to eat dollars that they had. So they're not going to what they used to do back in our time period. You know, I did really well as a teenager working for minimum wage, or oftentimes, you know, if I got an office gig or worked at one of my family businesses. But you know, I did really well. It's why when I started my first landscaping company before I left high school, that paid for my college. Right. So it's just
to add to that really quickly is that also too, you have this generation that's so lazy, so they'll impulse.
Yeah.
And at the most expensive stuff where they won't, you know, in a sense, go into the store and look for the coupons because they're always there. Those deals are always there, but they never tell you about the deals, even at the drive-thru. Tom knows about this. They won't tell you the deals of the day.
Oh,
That's how I got a Mexican pizza.
Right.
I hear
You know,
Pesci in my ears right now.
Now do
They
the
fuck
same
you in
thing
the
with
drive-thru.
movie. Now do the same thing with your entertainment. You know what you consume. Right.
Yeah.
It's just a different day. You mentioned 1979, bro. I mean, people were making more money, and there was only two games in town, right? The television or the movie theater. That was it.
Well,
and the three networks. I mean,
well,
let's
here's
not
the
forget that.
here's the main issue we have here is, and I brought this up before, but we got to look at this in a sense of scale. Okay, movies right now on the average week are making the same exact amount. Don't even worry about inflation. The same exact amount that they were in the 60s. Okay, but yet they have 3 or 4 times as many screens or theaters to show the movies on. Okay, that is the problem. We have a scale problem here. They are making movies that are scaled for a box office that should be bringing in $500 million a weekend. It's not. So they need to scale back. But as I've pointed out many times before, Hollywood will never make anything for less money. They will just find another way to make somebody else pay for it. In most cases, it's you, the consumer, right? So this is the problem we have here. They're making movies for a scaled box office that's not there. It isn't there. It doesn't exist. And it only exists for a select few films. And the way they were able to do that back in the day, to get real quick about it, is you would make your Star Wars and your Avatars and your horror films to pay for all your prestigious films that would cost too much money, that would never make the money back in the box office, but might get you a few Oscar nominations at the end of the year, and that can be turned into currency for the actors and the people involved, right? So this system kept rolling along, and had they kept the system rolling along like they were, the movie theaters would right now be bringing in about $500 million every weekend. That's the problem where they're at right now. They are not there. And they are continuing to make movies scaled to a box office that doesn't fucking exist.
Well,
And before long, it's going to hit a brick wall.
Okay, so one last point, because we are talking about 79 versus today, right? And I just grabbed some numbers. So right now, the U.S. population, when it officially comes back at the end of this year, is going to be 343 million, just in the United States alone. If you look at 1979's population, there were 225 million people in the United States.
That's a lot of illegal immigrants. Wow.
Anyway, so you're talking a population difference of 100 million, right? Right, Paul? I mean, roughly a little bit more, So how come we're not selling more movie tickets?
That's my point.
Yeah, I think it supports your point, but I think it's a bigger conversation. We have so many people that have dropped completely out of attending films. It's insanity. They can't. People are just not taking their entertainment dollars to the theaters, and I think a lot of what Paulie said is right.
Everyone is afraid of lowering their prices. I don't care whether it's taxis. I don't care whether it's food. Like everyone is raising their prices at the same time, and so the amount of money that we have, we're much more careful about what we need to spend our money on. I mean, and the other thing, point I wanted to make with regards to keeping the movies in the theater. I remember the day, even in the multiplex era, when movies were pushed out by other movies, not voluntarily, we talk about
The Godfather. The Godfather was in theaters for 3,500 years. It felt like.
Which one?
Well, yeah, but he's the Godfather. No, but Paul's right. Like, you would have a movie play until there wasn't enough room for it to play anymore because something else came out and took its place.
Yeah.
And it could be within a month.
I think Titanic was like the last film to do something like that. I mean, it played forever.
Right.
Forever, But that used to be
actually Avatar.
The norm.
That used to be the norm.
Yep.
Because during the summer, I remember going to see Empire Strikes Back 9 times because it was playing for months, man.
And then other movies get pushed out within a couple to 3 weeks that you wanted to go see.
Well, I saw Project Hail Mary 4 times already, so I'm good. So, on that note, I got to bounce, guys. Thank you for having me. Well, thanks for getting through the box office with me.
You got one. We're doing so well, Culture.
We have a super chat. We have a super chat here. Oh, okay. And on that note, before you do go, I Project Hail Mary is being brought back to some IMAX screens this weekend.
See, that's smart. They're going to get some more premium theater.
Yeah. But Dark King says Culture Casino ran a landscaping business. Yeah. Someone call Mexican Iron Man. We have cultural appropriation report.
No, I actually,
Culture is very, very, very garden-y.
I actually own 2 landscaping companies. One that I started when I was getting ready to graduate high school with my best friend until he decided to run his motorcycle into a car. But I still ran the company. I just didn't have a partner anymore. And then he lived. He just he left his.
To ask. Did he?
Yeah, he left his he left his eyebrow on the rain rail of the car. Ooh. Yeah. So, but
what about his eye?
Oh no, his eye got to stay. Thank goodness. He was wearing eye protection. But I'm just gonna say, wear a helmet, kids. Second, I started a second one after I got really enraged at the industry that I had pursued initially. I've been bubbled out of jobs 3 times now, which is why you know how you don't get bubbled out of jobs? Start your own companies, kids. That's what I would tell you.
Dark Knight. Speaking for Mike, Mike will say the status of success that Latinos have in the States is when we get to hire gringos to do our lawns.
That's true.
There you go. There you go.
And I was about to say, Culture isn't appropriating anyone as long as he hires Mexicans.
I did. That's actually true. Like for big jobs, especially irrigation or landscape design, We had some commercial contracts for like HOAs and community locations, so we did pretty well, and I paid really well because I don't want to do all that hard work, so I pay people pretty good.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, after like being made redundant, a few
That's how
times,
that's
you
why
were
I
above
had to
that
learn
sort of
some
thing.
Spanish. Honestly, Paulie knows this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing though, if you have a little bit of language ears, getting by in Spanish isn't that hard. I say that as someone that
It's easier
lived
than
2
German.
years in Spanish-speaking country without speaking a lick of Spanish when I got there.
Yeah, it's Spanish is much easier than German. I'm just gonna say.
This of course depends on what language is your default language. But if your default language is English, which has a significant portion of Latin in it, yes, it should be.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I do have to run. Is there any more
Right,
for
right.
me, Tom, or no?
Let me double check here. No, it looks like you are good to go, sir. Thanks for being here, Culture. We appreciate your
thank you.
time.
Hi,
Oh,
Culture.
I love being back on Mondays. I appreciate
We
it.
love having you back too.
We'll see you guys around. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take
God
care.
bless.
All right, so there goes my phone.
Oh,
We have a member chat from Dean Krantz. How you doing this morning? He's been here for 15 months.
Oh,
Yeah, indeed. He has
he
been
had
here
to
for
take the
15
call.
months, and we are glad to have you. So, yeah, we'll also be having a membership stream before long here. With that, we also have some other topics to discuss today. We have the main topic, which has to do with Marvel, because we spoke about the box office. Super Mario is doing good. Marvel, however, hasn't been doing all that great lately. We are still waiting for some ratings for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Many will recall that Season 1 didn't do too hot in the ratings. I do not anticipate that Season 2 will be doing much better. And the big question here...
Better. The show, based on the first episode, it's already better.
Well, it still is the same flawed premise of superheroes or vigilantes going amok in New York. But we can talk more about that when we get into further episodes, because like almost half the season is out by now. But Marvel was a segue to the really big bet that we have this year, which is Avengers Doomsday, since the new Spider-Man, of course, is a Sony co-production. But the really, really big bet here is Avengers Doomsday. Now, most of the stories that have come out of that thing has been relatively, I'm not going to say problematic, but there have been rumors to the tune of that Disney are worried, and maybe they have reason to be. But most recently, we got the word of a test screening, internal Marvel test screening, mind you, but still internal test screening, which hails Avengers Doomsday as the best MCU movie since Avengers Infinity War. Now, that would be a huge win for them if that turns out to be the case. And of course, this was a test screening from before the most recent reshoots. And we'll get back to the implications of that. But first, Paulie, you know some people in town, you know some people in Marvel. Have you heard anything about this? Should we trust this? Because we've heard Marvel be very boastful and have had positive test screenings before, only for the movie to come out and not really please all that many audiences by the time all is said and done.
No, as of this morning, I have not. My Marvel guy, I haven't heard from him in a long. It just makes me think I haven't heard from my Marvel guy in a minute. But I did get a note. Give me a second here. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Let me read up on some stuff.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while you read up, Chris, how about you? Have you heard anything? Do you think that this report from an internal test screening is one that we should trust? We'll get back to the reshoot aspect of it, but here we have then allegedly the test audience from internal to Marvel liked the movie pre-reshoots. Is that a good sign?
Well, I think that it's important to note that we're wondering if the people who made the movie think it's the best movie ever made, right? So,
Well, Robert Meyer Burnett already said it's a triumph, so
now come on.
I'm not kidding. He technically has.
He quoted someone saying it's a triumph. He didn't say it.
Okay, well, that's
Okay,
a very
well-
important. Thank you for that. Very
That's a-
One of
that's a
these,
good thing, yeah.
the things that I noticed though is a lot of people that are pulling this story are using Robert as a source. I even pointed this
I
out
just
to
put it in
Robert.
this article. It says Robert Meyer Burnett has
Yeah.
also chimed in to say it was met with reactions on par with 2018's Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah. And
You
to
know,
be clear
again-
here, Robert Meyer Burnett, he's just reporting what
Yeah.
he has
Yeah.
heard about the movie.
That's
So
my
he
point,
himself has not opined about it, but he is one of those saying that he's allegedly has heard through sources that it is the level of Avengers Infinity War, which, if true, would be fantastic. My issue, though, is that these same test audiences have given positive reviews to other Marvel movies that turned out not to be as well received with the general public as Marvel anticipated. The star example here being Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. From everything we heard, they thought that they had a hit on their hands. And one of the quotes that came out that went kind of like viral, which was from them apparently, was, "Our internal barometer for checking the audience is broken, because they thought they had a hit and they didn't. They thought the audience would respond to the movie and the audience didn't." Have they fixed
amazing
it?
is, why do any reshoots then? This is apparently pre-reshoots, and it's
This
the
is the
best
second
MCU
thing
movie
I was
ever.
about
Why
to
do
say.
any
Yeah.
reshoots?
And when we get into the reshoots, then also let's go back to Quantumania, because there was a director's cut of the movie that everyone were happy with, apart from Bob Iger, who felt it was too downer, too negative, wasn't happy-go-lucky, cheerful enough. So Bob Iger demanded reshoots because he had just returned to Marvel at the time, and from everything we heard, this is our sources talking to us that have some connections to the director. According to those sources, the movie was made worse by the reshoots, as they added levity and humor that wasn't needed, but that only served to bring the movie down. Could this also be a case of the movie was happy before, and then the reshoots, well, who knows how they're going to work out? Because sometimes that happens. Sometimes, like, I don't mind reshoots in principles, because I do not mind if you have a movie that is broken and you try to fix it. Sometimes this actually has worked.
Well, and the
But
Russo
very
brothers know
often-
how to do Marvel right. I mean, the Russo
Yeah.
brothers, let's be fair. When they're involved with a Marvel movie, starting with Winter Soldier, they know how to do these
They
movies
do.
the right way. So maybe the formula is, the audiences have come to these movies, right? I mean, even the
Well,
Marvel.
then they made Endgame.
Well, it wasn't terrible.
It made all the money, but
I think made about $4 billion. So.
But I'll tell you what, after every time I watch it, I see bigger fucking gaping holes in it. And it's not popular amongst people.
Well,
Right?
it
People
doesn't
love
matter if
Infinity
there's-
War.
It doesn't matter if there's a plot hole when you're riding the roller coaster. If you're loving the roller coaster,
That's true. But my point is this, are the Russos still the same Russo brothers? And here's my point is where I'm taking this with a huge motherfucking grain of salt, because they need this hype.
Yeah.
They need this hype as opposed to, like, Supergirl, which all of a sudden it doesn't matter whatever. Everything's like fucking, on fire over there.
Yeah.
Where I think the movie's probably going to be fine. It's just nobody's going to give a shit. As opposed to this,
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about this, because we're building this off of a decade of shit movies now, right? The first decade of Marvel was amazing films. This last decade of movies so far has been crap.
Well,
Okay.
this goes back to those characters that are the draw. You mentioned Supergirl, and Supergirl's never going to be as popular as
No,
Superman,
no. Yeah.
right? So, and now they're going back and bringing Robert Downey Jr. I think it was a last resort Hail Mary, pardon the pun.
It's a
But,
Project Hail Mary, all right. Yes.
You know, maybe that combo and with the classic characters, it will find the audience. I know
Very
more people
expensive.
are curious about this than they are about the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Here's the problem with that, Chris, and I know where you're coming from, and I agree with you, and that would be something to sell the head of a studio on.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, as a fan, as an audience member, I smell nothing but fucking desperation, and I can smell the dead corpse of the Marvel Universe right underneath that fancy picture of fucking Robert Downey Jr. It doesn't matter; it still smells and stinks of death.
Well, I guess it really depends on what the content of the reshoots was for. Was it just a bunch of extra fan service, or were they fixing some foundational problems with the story?
I
That
mean,
we don't know. That's the issue. We
Yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah.
well, one idea was that they had to separate some main actors from each other, and they had to do research.
Jesus Christ!
This was last year. I mean, there's been so many problems with this thing, you know. But
Do you know specifically who didn't get along, or you just heard that?
It was two major stars.
One of
And-
them we were told was Robert Downey Jr. I don't recall.
Yeah, I was gonna
Was
say.
it
I
not-
think I
it
kind
was
of.
Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Reynolds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Remember we talked about it last year.
Yeah.
It was to a point where it was like, you don't know me like that to talk to me like that, to offend me like that. And so it caused a rift to where they had to separate them and do reshoots. I mean, that's millions and millions just right there. Just right there. You know, whether
Well, and that sounds like a dick swinging contest going on.
yeah.
Well, these are people who can afford it in the one studio that is happy to pay for it.
Well, what I'm saying is you got the OG guy, but you got the new guy going in here trying to swing his weight around. And-
Right, because maybe they had the last technical, MC hit with Deadpool.
That's what I'm
and
getting at,
Wolverine.
exactly. like-
Absolutely,
Mhm.
yeah. And I honestly, I think that at this point they needed to go with Ryan Reynolds because he's the one that brought new blood. And I think this is my hypothesis: the audience, the mass audience of the world, would be more excited for a Deadpool-led MCU in the style of Deadpool and Wolverine than return to Robert Downey Jr. now a decade later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and these are all these are like the egos of egos, man. Just imagine. And Robert Downey Jr. is compared to Ryan on the set, maybe his old news. And Ryan isn't the nicest to work with. So, but he gets results.
I was just going to say, countdown to, stories about how Ryan Reynolds was sexually harassed by Robert Downey Jr.
Oh my
And-
god.
Oh, God.
And how there's some creepy texts, and how one's not invited to the other's premiere. They will know.
I honestly hope we do not get those particular stories, but hey, in Hollywood, you never know.
And I'm trying to tap into some people that are at CinemaCon right now. Apparently, they're supposed to get some footage.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
So, we'll be reporting on that.
I'm actually, because the Russo brothers are involved. I mean, let's set aside things like Citadel, which was god awful.
Terrible.
The Russo brothers being on one of these big multi-character Marvel movies, I've got more. Actually, I'm a little more excited about it now compared to the Spider-Man Brand New Day with what is it, Cretin? What do you say, Daniel Cretin, the director? that did-
Cretin, I think it's how you're supposed to say it, but depending on how
Cretin
you
works.
feel that day of the week,
Well, he did. What was it?
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi,
Yeah, which, I mean, I always kind of liked that character, and I didn't care for that movie. Of course, Simu Limu, I call him. He kind of crapped the bed on that. Just socially, he was sort of the male Rachel Zegler there for a while. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I expect we'll see a trailer this summer, maybe at the Spider-Man. Could see something at the Motu. Who knows? But let's just wait till we see the trailer. This is just a rumor and my time to shine. That's what he likes to.
Yeah, and if it's, I'm being reminded that Marvel said the Captain Marvel was amazing before.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tom mentioned the same thing. I mean, every movie is the best MCU movie ever, right?
Okay,
it's a bunch of
so
yes men.
here's my person on the ground in Vegas at CinemaCon. I'm hearing is that we will get a trailer. Nothing other than that. So that's going to be
CinemaCon.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Rosa Parra is there all week for us.
Nice.
But I'm that's going to be the make it or break it is going to be that trailer.
Yeah.
Over under that they pull a Back to the Future on the audience, where they come out and say, guys, here's a first look at Avengers, and then at the end it says spring 2027 instead of December 2026.
Change the date. Yeah.
I'm really
and what I mean by the Back to the Future is when Bob and Bob went in and say, look, we're not going to be able to have Back to the Future 2 ready by summer of 88. But I'll tell you what we can do. We can get you Back to the Future 2 and 3 for 89 and 90. And that's where they're going to sell it to the audience.
But
You watch. But that's my over-under on that. But go
I'm
ahead.
confused, Tom, with the storytelling. Is it Spider-Man before or after? I don't know what's going on.
It's
now.
before, and it's already coming out. That's done. The thing that
You mean
I'm sitting here looking at it is...
Paulie? You mean in the
No,
story?
story-wise.
Yeah.
Story-wise, likely Spider-Man is before, which is
Yeah,
why
it
they
is.
didn't change anything, because I was curious about that too, but I think we can safely surmise that Spider-Man is right after the end of season 2 of Daredevil, with the Punisher in between, setting up the probable lack of killing from the Punisher, as Tom speculated, and he's probably right about. So, it should have no repercussions for the Avengers when Spider-Man is coming out, because I said before, most likely.
I'm still not even sure if Spider-Man's in the first part of this. I don't think he's going to show up till the second part. But that's just a speculation.
Matter of which Spider-Man.
There's that rumor now going around too, and I still don't buy into the Tobey Maguire stuff.
I hope that's disinformation. I seriously hope that's not true. That would be potentially that's if that rumor is true, that is one way to lose fans. That is how you are going to Terminator Dark Fate the whole movie right off the bat. Remember, Terminator Dark Fate also had these reports of positive test screenings and stuff like that, and then the audience saw it, and the audience never forgave the opening scene.
I still have never seen that Dark Fate. I don't think I'm gonna.
And it's a shame, because tonally it's actually pretty decent. I mean, it's a movie that with some changes actually could have been really interesting and really good. But
I
because
remember
of the
rewriting it
massive
better.
things- yeah, but because of these massive glaring problems in it, it just brings down the entire movie.
Well, I even had a way you could use Edward Furlong and use the fact that he looks like shit.
Yeah.
I say you have it to where he has spent the last 20 years now going from job to job, not knowing what he's supposed to do because his mom and him prevented, or at least delayed, Judgment Day. So he's not the John Connor he was supposed to be. And he has a daughter, and his daughter now is the carrier of the onward thing. If you want to do it that way, people would have accepted that had the girl been the daughter of John Connor, had it been that way, and Sarah Connor being the only one left to teach him. Like, you have John sacrifice himself for his daughter, like midpoint in the movie, and you're like, oh shit, now what? Well, then they pull Sarah Connor out of retirement, have her teach the girl. Boom, there's your ongoing series. You just kind of keep going with that thing. That was the one thing that worked for me with Terminator 3 was they didn't stop anything, they just delayed it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where I think Terminator 3 always gets a bad rep. It's like it's got a killer ending, and at least it works with the idea that Judgment Day didn't happen because they did technically prevent it, but they didn't really prevent it so much as delay it.
Oh, is
Right,
that
like-
Genesis?
No,
No, not Genesis, Terminator 3.
Yeah.
When at the end
War
of the
the
movie,
Machine? War the Machine?
yeah, when at the end of the movie they think
Rising.
they're going to get the answer to stop the machine when really all it was Daddy was saving their ass.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I didn't care for the cast in that movie, honestly, but it was they did end it properly, I thought.
It had an uber 60s sci-fi ending. That's what I loved about T3. I was like, all the mistakes it had made before that ending, I'm like, this ending was brilliant.
And I
Fuck.
loved the Schwarzenegger's accent in the as the human prototype.
Oh, yeah.
Sergeant Candy scene.
Sergeant Candy.
Yeah.
Hi, y'all. I'm Sergeant Candy.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's in the video game in a deleted scene, but yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
I gotta.
But
I
anyway,
gotta-
now that we went off on a tangent on Terminator,
right.
but I mean, there is some parallels here because they kind of terminated this franchise already with
Hi-oh.
Endgame, right? Like, I mean, we've also got coming off of Spider-Man No Way Home and Deadpool Wolverine, which has also played with multiverses and kind of a time travel thing. So we know that's what this movie is built on too. And that's where I feel like it's going to lose the audience. And I think that's where Deadpool and Wolverine was right, was that the audience is getting sick and tired of this multiverse shit, right? They just want to go to these movies like a James Bond movie. They just want to go in knowing they're going to see the new Spider-Man movie or the new Batman movie. They don't want to have to care about 12 movies before it and 12 movies around it and 12 movies and TV shows that they didn't see on fucking Disney Plus. See, that's the hardest thing that this movie is going to have going for it going into it.
Yep.
Is that a lot of people are going to sit there and ask the question, have to have seen, Daredevil? Have I seen all these other shows and all this other crap that I didn't watch?
Right. They haven't learned anything at all.
Yeah.
Well, Daredevil
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, you watched that, didn't you,
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah, as
Season
a
2.
segue. Yeah.
Oh, season 2. Yeah. I saw the first
Mhm.
episode.
Well,
Well, I mean, the biggest problem was I went, oh fuck, I got to remember what happened in season 1, and I spent all my time sort of running it through my head.
So kind of like Rings of Power.
Oh,
Yes.
Is it that bad?
Yes.
It's not
Oh,
that
wow.
bad, but
No.
but just
the show
in
isn't
terms
that
of like
bad.
in terms of like how much season 1 actually stuck out is what he's referring to.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that overall, the first episode was pretty darn good, notwithstanding the fact that they had to reintroduce you to characters and situations. There's way too many subplots, and we've settled into a kind of, I'm going to say it, dystopian streaming show once again, where there's no light ever at the end of the tunnel. You're not getting any lightness to the show, and I didn't mean it from a visual sense. I'm referring to the fact that we now have a show like the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and you sort of go, wait a second, we have a heroic show with actually some nice light moments in it. And the first Daredevil had that because you had the consortium of Foggy and I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, who's in this, but now she's getting all
Karen.
tough. Karen is now getting toughened up to be another kung fu master. And there's no, well, they kiss, but other than that, sorry for the plot, sorry for the giveaway, but there's no more balance in so many shows that is just relentlessly dour. And
yeah.
that's what this is right now, although much better done than season 1. That's my basic evaluation.
I did not like the first episode of season 2.
You didn't?
Neither did I.
No.
I did. I liked it. I enjoyed it. By the end, I kind of enjoyed it.
But my buddy is Mayhem Melendez, so I'm excited for Bobby Hernandez. He fights with Vincent D'Onofrio in that boxing match.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get him on, but besides that, I haven't seen the new episodes.
I didn't like the fact that Daredevil was thrown by listening to the failing heart of his friend. Because if you're Daredevil and you're in the middle of a melee, you're not going to stop. I mean, you've got your own life that you've got to protect.
Yeah.
I thought that was okay, fine. Actually, no, I wasn't fine. It was horrible. And then Daredevil had to be Deus Machina, saved by someone else, which we don't know who. I mean, I haven't seen episode 2, but I don't know who it is.
Hey,
It's
Tom,
Robert Downey Jr. as Doom.
sorry, really fast, Tom. Check your DMs, Twitter, please.
You know what from the first season over on Disney Plus, one thing I noticed is they've not been able to recapture that. There's a certain amount of almost an homage to that film Old Boy, where there's a long sequence of Daredevil battling in a hallway type situation with lots.
Season 1.
Right. Did that happen in the Disney Plus season 1?
There's some good fights.
No, that
in
was a
season-
Netflix. That was
Yeah,
a Netflix.
that's what I was saying. Is the Netflix stuff seemed to kind of go to that, and there was real grit, and the stakes were real, and it feels like Disney just is sort of pantomiming that. It's like maybe they haven't quite gotten the same flavor down. You know, they're trying to replicate it, but they don't.
Well, the issue is they think so far every episode has to be the hallway scene.
Oh,
That's the problem. So season one
per season is all you need for that.
The Netflix show was about their law firm scraping away, scraping it together, trying to make it work. And again, it was the balance between lightness and fighting. I don't consider fighting lightness. So they had great moments of friendship and sacrifice. And so far, they're now living in this dystopian Kingpin world where they've got to hide themselves 100% all the time. Even Matt Murdock can't come out into the light. So we don't have that duality. Kingpin knows who Matt Murdock is. So he for all intents and purposes, even when he's Matt Murdock, he's still Daredevil because he has to hide all the time. You can't hide Daredevil and then come out into the light as Matt Murdock because they know who he is. So it's
boy, Disney just said they've boxed themselves in then, haven't
Yeah.
they? I think, wow.
Yeah, it's dour. It's like 100% dour all the time.
What a shame. It's like you're watching The Fugitive or something.
Well, even The Fugitive had its moments because he would fall in love with some woman in town, right? And then have to leave.
Well, yeah, because he could pretend to be someone else.
Correct.
Yeah, sort of like the David Banner Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For a brief moment in time, he would have a respite from being chased by his adversary and get something together. And then the tragic thing was he always had to leave whatever good he had for that very moment until the show had to reset every episode, right? That's the nature of
I honestly don't
Yeah.
know why he was hung up on Mrs. Banner so much. Motherfucker could pull tail like nobody's business. So
Oh boy.
Boom.
and he's getting laid
yeah,
almost every
I think,
episode.
That's
It was-
it so far. I'm going to watch the episode 2. I mean, the action was good, and Daredevil was not wimping himself out like he did in season 1 of the Disney, in the Disney Daredevil, which made it much more like the comics. When he was fighting,
Mhm.
again, except for that moment where he heard his friend's heart failing, and so.
Yeah, I don't have anybody at Bleeding Fool watching that. Our reviewer checked out the new Disney series, Darth Maul.
Oh yeah,
Said it was good. Liked
Yeah.
it. Sees probably a couple of red flags about a girl boss, but he's gonna
I'd
keep
rather watch a
going.
show called Darth's Mall, where it was literally about Darth Maul running a mall.
Darth Small.
Mm.
Okay. Maybe Darth Vader running a shopping mall.
And have you reviewed the new Malcolm in the Middle?
No,
No.
nobody wants to touch that.
Okay.
There's a Malcolm in the Middle.
Yep, a brand new one.
Or-
Everyone's grown up,
Boring.
and Stevie comes out
Yeah.
as gay.
Of course.
Oh,
Pass.
Well, there's also a non-binary character, I hear.
Yes, that's brand new too.
Oh boy.
And there's a giant non-binary speech.
Oh,
You're
good.
kidding me.
Yep.
You couldn't
Malcolm
write
in the
better
middle.
satire
Yeah.
than that. Yeah.
The thing is, we actually have to ask if he's kidding or not.
No,
Otherwise-
it's a Netflix show. That's Stevie was into girls during the regular run of the show. Now suddenly,
Oh, that was just denial,
Yeah.
after
That's
the-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
All
that
along,
was,
he
that
knew
was,
something was different.
that was his internalized misogyny or something.
now he's free.
No thanks.
I just
Are
don't
you
need
gonna watch
to watch
the whole
it now.
series,
Thank you.
Paul?
No, I'm not going to watch the whole series.
Okay.
My other pitch for a Darth Maul show is he's a country singer named Garth Maul,
Oh boy.
and he has a hit album with "Some Gave All, But I Gave Half."
That's almost up there with Chato's new country song.
That's right.
Oh,
Now
it's
that-
country, even better.
Now I'm a now I'm a cadaver in a cop show.
That your thumbnail alone probably scared off.
I'm going to change the thumbnail. It ain't doing as well as I thought.
Yeah, that thumb.
It's scaring people away. What do you think, Paulie? Change the thumbnail?
I mean, you're naked on the thumbnail, bro. You're showing your. You're
Oh
showing.
I'm
no,
used to
I haven't
that.
seen
You're
this.
showing your chest. You're showing your chest. I mean,
Uh-oh. That's bad form.
That's why it took YouTube hours to figure out whether to publish it or not.
I probably would have had you in your cowboy outfit, on stage at a bar, like a,
Oh,
like
okay, I'm going to make a new thumbnail because it's obviously scaring people away.
Your last video was like 61,000 views,
Yeah,
and
no.
this one is like,
Hey,
The AI music thing is kind of touch and go, though. You got to keep that in mind too.
Yep.
that's true.
Yep.
I saw a review that it's called appalling, really, and it's spelled normally. So
Oh,
Hey-o.
Yeah, I'm gonna change the thumbnail.
Yeah, I sent you some photos.
all right. Let's see what the chat is talking about here. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle says, "Wow! If Doomsday is perfect before the reshoots, it will be even more perfect now."
it's a no-brainer.
Right? That's how
Right.
these people in Hollywood think.
It'll be more better.
It'd be more better. Dark King says, considering the history of the MCU, the Avengers Doomsday will be when the Marvels cycles finally synchronize. I'll be in my
boy.
bunker. Oh, that caused the end of the
Physiologically,
galaxy.
yes. Wow.
Michael Thomas says, "What's up, everyone? Thanks for the show. Excuse me. Brilliant cadaver music video. There you go, Mr. Chatto.
Thank you.
Maybe indie films are our best hope. Well, they're out there, but unfortunately, the indie film has been more or less delegated to streaming only now. That's kind of the sad truth of it all. Even little movies like the one that I liked last year, Good Fortune with Keanu Reeves, like it just barely hit theaters and it was just gone.
Gone.
Yeah, it's indie films are really, they have their own avenues, they have their own distribution channels, but unless you're keyed into that world,
Mhm.
you're not, you have no idea. It's a
You're
whole
right.
different world. I mean, Film Thread does a good job of covering that. And then there's those films that are done on a dime that a Sony will pick up and offer, let's say, 2 weeks in the theater, and then you go to Netflix, and then you're having to deal with the algorithm. But they do exist. There's just different avenues. There's so many, which is I think is a good thing. It's very healthy. Is that there's so many ways that an independent film can get out to people. It just takes a lot. It just takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it used to be its own cottage industry basically in the 90s, right? And I was reminded of that last night when I watched the shitty movie Clerks 3. It's like, this is where we've come to now. Like this was the original voices of that movement, and now this is where we're at.
You're right. You're
It's kind
absolutely
of like a snake
because-
eating its own tail at this point. But yeah.
Well, that's where Sundance, was important. They had Tarantino and Smith and Rodriguez come out of there, and
Yeah.
we were paying attention.
yeah.
And now they're all major films that that they get to view early at these film festivals, and you just see the same shit as you would see at a Hollywood premiere, which is the celebrities going to these film festivals, red carpets, people standing a standing ovation for 10 minutes. Give me a fucking break. That's not what these film festivals used to be about. So
Yeah. Well, speaking of streaming, did you guys see the first look at Little House on the Prairie?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. I'm looking forward to this.
Come on, man.
That's
Well,
good.
actually, if I got my druthers, it'd be this instead. Little House Party on the Prairie would be a better movie, if you ask me.
I
But,
see what you did there.
Should have been LIL.
I know. I thought about that after the fact, but I'm like, is that racist?
No, man. Little Abner, little Archie. It's all
Actually, they're all white, surprisingly, and the family is, at least, in the Little House on the Prairie that we got a first look. But yeah, that's what this week is all about. First looks. I'm depressed because we should be down at CinemaCon, Andre. Once again, a year is come and gone. Where
Can-
this
can
is
I
where
mention
Andre and I
something
should be
about-
having our annual meeting every year. But yeah,
Absolutely.
So just in terms of how we have now been trained and what the social media discourse is like, if you read the comments for Netflix's Little House on the Prairie, it's 90% who's the gay character? Where's the non-binary person coming in?
Yeah.
I think that's a problem
too.
when it looked great, okay? But that's not what people are commenting on. They're commenting on the fact that when does the other shoe drop? Because we don't fucking trust you.
Okay, so you're saying, Paul, that it's people worried that they're going to
No, not worried. They're being asses. They're trolling it.
Okay. You don't think there's real people that are saying, where's the representation?
No.
Okay.
I think it's people trolling it because that's now how we have been trained. So people go complain about, oh no, you're jumping to conclusions about this person. Well, it's like we're living in a house of snakes, and every time we get up, we're afraid of being bitten by snakes. Like we're now expecting something horrible. Look what happened to Malcolm in the Middle. Do we really need Stevie to be gay? Do we need a non-binary family member? Like, holy fuck. Like, okay,
Yeah.
this is you've made us jumpy. I'm sorry. We're now jumpy and expecting the worst when it comes to all this gender nonsense and
Yeah.
race swapping. Look
It's a
at
shame.
the latest rumors for I'm sure they're rumors for the Harry Potter thing where
Yep.
Voldemort is now going to be female. That now
Tilda
we're-
Swinton.
we are assuming that they could very well be true. What is it?
It's really sort of, you would think that they could read the room by now.
I know.
It's ridiculous. There certainly can't be more people clapping like seals for this than people mocking, laughing, or complaining about it. The ratio can't be even. It can't.
nobody's clapping for this thing.
Well, that's what
Like,
I'm
who
getting
wanted
at.
it?
And why?
And I already have it.
It's
the problem
right
is-
here.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my gosh. Let
problem
me
is-
tell you about Little House on the Prairie. The very first season made me actually weep and say to myself, you mean there used to be wholesome television like this that was popular on network television? Are you kidding me? It was
9 seasons of it.
Well, it kind of after Mary was blind and a few things happened and the hotel burned down. It was
He made love to the horse.
No, I don't think that scene was included. That's in the deleted.
That's in the deleted bits. Yeah.
But
But
once
to
they
get
got
back
the hotel,
to,
and it's very interesting. I think it's a good show for the first 4 or 5
Yeah.
seasons.
But as for what we were saying before we round out here, no, of course, no one needs to be clapping for any of this, but it's enough if the executives think there's a demand for it on social media. If they get the brownie points within their circle, this is the point when you have like this little tiny little bubble right where this thing is being made, and they think that the feedback and the clapping that they get inside of this little circle is reality outside of it. That's what they're going to push upon the world and basically traumatize everyone and destroy all of Hollywood in the process. That's what happened.
Absolutely.
I really wish the trades would say it. Of course, they're never going to say it, but the reality is that there are many, many things that worked together, but one of their foremost problems that destroyed all of Hollywood is all of their DEI efforts on screen. And I'm not talking about the organic ones of giving writers and producers and actors a fair shot. Not talking about that. I'm talking about the completely artificial diversity that doesn't exist anywhere on the planet apart from maybe some postcodes in LA, and force this in programming where it has nothing to do, where you actually harm the cause you are trying to promote.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. That's a big part of the problem here. And you still, I think the industry as a whole has moved on from this. Paulie has said this, Script Doctor has said this, but I think there's still some isolated pockets of either true believers or people who think that the world is different than it actually is.
It almost
Go ahead.
it's
Paul.
left such a wound and a bad reaction, taste in the mouth with audiences, which is the most important thing, is the audience.
Exactly. All over the world. Over the world.
That anything that's perceived DEI, they're woke, fuck it. Right?
Yeah.
And you know what?
Woman on the poster.
The audiences, I can't blame them. I cannot blame them. They might not be correct, but that's not the audience's fault.
No, you're right. You're right.
That's Hollywood's
No,
fault.
like Ryan Reynolds said, they have to make movies that people want to see. It's their responsibility.
Paul and
But
Paul,
you know-
you're both right, because Paul, when you said we're kind of gun shy now, it's like you hear something
Exactly.
in the woods,
Gunshot. Perfect word.
and you're like, I'm going over here because you're watching Malcolm in the Middle, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm gay. Okay, I'm out. I don't even care how you handle it, because you've put something in here that's so inorganic that aligns with everything I've seen from the DEI type woke stuff, that I'm just going to tap out. I don't even want to risk getting my anger. I don't want to get my cortisol levels don't need to be raised watching a show that I was looking forward to. Why should I wait until the last episode when 2 men start making out of the blue? I didn't want this. Why should I even subject myself to it? I'll go back to the original DVDs and just go and have that nostalgia stuff. And you know that this Little House on the Prairie, even though the casting looks fine, is going to right some supposed wrongs in our history. And you'll have the Pa character befriending somebody who turns out that they were gay or whatever and couldn't come out.
I saw that episode.
All these episodes will be in that.
Well, here's the thing, and Melissa Gilbert.
Referring to, why do that to Malcolm in the Middle? I mean, come on.
Well, Melissa Gilbert, Laura Ingalls herself, said that the show has always been woke, and I trust her judgment. Somebody got that joke, at least.
Well,
Somebody got that fucking joke.
Whoa. Well,
What's funny is that a lot of the comments for Malcolm in the Middle have been, well, you don't think that human beings would advance in the time frame between when the show was on and now. People change. And I was going to comment, my favorite comment is that in sitcoms, people do not change. That's the whole point of a sitcom, is that they return to equilibrium after every show, because number one, the writers would never know what to write about if suddenly the characters changed. So I didn't want to get into that argument, because yeah, after what 30 years or something like that, sure, someone could come out gay. That I'm not
What's
arguing.
what's a Malcolm show on? Is it getting ratings? I didn't even
It's
know
on,
this was a thing.
Disney. Or is
Yeah,
it
of course it is. And they use things like parrot analytics. So engagement, good or bad, means you're doing things right.
So
in there.
Yeah.
I know we got to round up, but here's the real fallout, guys, of all of this is producers that have great projects that can't even get in the door anymore because their stuff is perceived as DEI, and that's fucking bullshit.
Yep.
Right? It's just that
That's the problem.
because of what Hollywood did to itself,
Yeah.
they're just shutting the door.
Yeah.
And that is a real thing. And I'm talking to executive producers that have produced movie hits that they can't get a phone call returned, a movie lit or produced because of perceived DEI storylines. And they're great stories, they're original, but this is Hollywood's fault. And if it's not, it's not political enough. See, they're still doing the same bullshit.
Right.
Sorry.
It's strange. Imagine being
Very
Bryan
strange.
Cranston and signing on for that show and then realizing, oh, great. So we're doing this. But maybe he's into it because, you go to Hollywood, 3 out of 4 of all of their kids are trans or gay or whatever. It's just, it's the most bizarre thing.
Well, and what Paulie's saying is a big deal. And I know we're rounding out here, but it's true. It goes along with what I said when who was the chick that was in the Woman King? I just forgot her name.
Oh yeah, great actress. What's her name?
Oh shit! I can't,
Yeah, Amanda Waller.
Not Alfie.
no, yeah, that
Not
chick,
Alfie.
but I can't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, she come out and said, "You got to go see
Viola
this
Viola
movie."
Davis. Viola Davis.
Viola Davis. She goes, "You got to go out and see this movie, or they're not going to make any more like it." And everybody laughed at her. I said, "No, she is fucking right, but
right.
it's not her fault, and it's not the audience's responsibility." I said, "It's this. This lies completely on what Paulie just said. This movie was a result of that bullshit, and she was not fucking wrong, because in the future, then from here on out, this is now a point where they will say, look, this women black-led film that had all this woman power written all over it failed miserably.
Yeah.
So they'll use that.
written by 2 white women.
I was
Well,
about
yeah.
to say
Right.
2 white women behind.
They'll leave that out, but they'll
Yeah.
use the point
Right.
that it was, and that's the
Right.
thing was where they like to project onto us that we're the problem, that we're the racists and all this shit. No, as I remind people time and time again, Hollywood is full of the most racist, sexist fucking individuals you will ever fucking find in the world. And they talk about these things in ways that you wouldn't believe. You don't believe me? Go read through some of Amy Pascal's fucking emails from the Sony leak.
Oh, yeah.
Just to see how some of these people talk and think. And these are the people that are trying to pretend that they're changing the fucking world by doing this.
Just to
And-
back
and-
up Tom is what he's saying is that I've wrote, yes. they again, and we've talked about this, and that's why we had talked about the sinners versus one battle after another. That's a really good example. In that they're going to take the one over the other just because of just we're controlling the narrative, not a black person, not a whatever person. We know what's best for you guys. You guys have fucked up any type of like original storytelling to where you're hearing hey, Tuscany has to do good because they won't buy or greenlit my film that I already made, right? I got to wait on the result of Tuscany to do good. Whereas it's fucked up, man. It's very frustrating.
I
Well,
want
that's
to
kind of always been the business.
Go
Go ahead,
I
Paul.
want to add one thing about Little House on the Prairie that people forgot about. CBS hated the show.
Right.
They didn't like any show that attracted middle America because it was not the ideal demographic. That they hated the Beverly Hillbillies. They were trying to get it canceled. They hated Little House on the Prairie. These wholesome shows that we talk about from the past, the networks actually didn't like if they were not popular in the big city areas.
Yeah, basically Dr. Quinn took over that mantle and
Dr.
then
Quinn, they weren't
and then
thrilled
Walker.
with that either.
And then Walker did. Yep. You're 100% right, Paul. You're 100%. Yeah.
Um,
But I know was there another point you had to make? Sorry.
No, Tom. I just think I think what's happening is that you're seeing more and more that these films that get out there. Like, I finally saw this movie Klika, and it's a terrible film, right? I mean, God, it was just trash. It's not woke or anything like that. It's just as far as storytelling and basic
Right.
acting. But it was made for under $2 million. It made over $3 million at the theater. Now it's charting on Netflix. They're gonna go keep doing 10 more of those and make money, right? But they're not doing it with Hollywood. They're doing it on their own. You're gonna see more of that happening, and the gangster genre is always gonna be there, or the horror genre is always gonna be there because you could do those on the cheap. But it's any of these successes is not because of Hollywood studios greenlighting new different films, guys. There's nothing more uncreative than the big Hollywood studios. I just wanted to add that.
Yeah. Well, with that, I think we're gonna round out here. We got Garvin Ambrose sending in a Rumble rant. Says, have you guys seen the CEO of Glitch's statement on independent creators and the trouble had getting the Amazing Digital Circus into theaters? See it June 4th. I have not, Garvin, but I've heard a little bit about this Amazing Digital Circus. Anybody got a comment on this at all?
Not familiar with it.
Yeah, I haven't seen his comments, so I can't comment on his comments.
See it June 4th.
I could just tell you, independent anything is a to get it into the theaters is a miracle, guys.
But it's probably easier now than it ever has been, and this is where Script and I have talked about this before, and I think Paul has gotten in on the conversation, maybe even Paulie, where we've talked about it's probably the easiest now it's ever been to make your own movie and put it in theaters, because you can basically rent out theaters and do it, as opposed to back in the day there was so much of a bigger a divide between how to get a real movie made and into the theaters and all that kind of stuff, as opposed to now. So now is your time. If you think you have a good story to tell, make it. Just fucking make it and put it out in theaters and see what people think.
Yeah, Tom is on to something, because there's a lot of factors, right? But you're 100% right, Tom. And if you can make those deals, you can make those deals directly with a lot of theater chains, and you get more money back. You actually make more money back than trying to get it sold to Netflix right away.
Can I just add? I think maybe it's more correct to say, rather than it's never been easier, it's never been less incredibly difficult. Maybe the more correct way of putting it.
It's more difficult to get your eyeballs on your stuff. See, that's what makes the difference.
That's a different matter altogether.
That's the difference between the Hollywood, and that's why it's so tough to get an actual movie, known, right? Is because the studios have that, they're plugged into that, the advertising model, for better or for worse, right? Like that's the thing that they have that nobody else has, that makes them Hollywood, because you can pretty much make anything you want in your backyard with your iPhone now. Like, I mean, it's almost, as long as you have the talent, it's reachable. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. Paul knows, and he'll be the first to tell you, you got to have talent. Sure. See, that's the thing.
Well, I'm just going to say, I mean, this is half joking, but watch my latest video. I'm a cadaver in a cop show. It's actually the beginnings of what I'm trying to put together, is piecing live me with bits and pieces of silly AI bits. I'm actually making fun of bad AI in this video, but it actually works, I think, fairly well. Other people aren't doing it quite the same way. They're putting the prompts in and letting the entire thing be an AI experience, rather than using it as components of a live experience in front of a green screen, which I'm quite proud of on this. It's actually the beginning of something that I think is a hybrid and more interesting, what people are doing with AI.
I think there's so many ways to the actual making of the film, like what Tom says, is not the difficult part, right? Because nowadays with the technology, it's getting out there and getting an audience and making your money back.
Yeah.
In regards to whatever you put in. That's why
Be an entrepreneur.
That's why Marky Pyler was a success. The Klika movie that I mentioned was a success. Why? Because they have huge audiences already. So they were gonna go. You know, which I didn't even know about the Klika thing is that this guy is a huge music audience, millions, and they went. That's fantastic. That really helps. I mean, obviously, it's like this, so this thing with Marky Pyler, it's like, yeah, he put in some, he's got millions. They went to go see it. It's great.
Well, there you go. I know we're losing at least one panelist now. I know Chris had to leave us. So check out Bleeding Fool. Chris, anything else you want to plug while on your way out?
Yeah, just quick. Go to bleedingfool.com. Lots of maybe encouraging news or bad news with Sony and Disney laying off thousands of people. We've got a deep dive into those stories over on bleedingfool.com and some discussion on the new Marvel one-shot for the Punisher. Enjoyed it. Glad to be back. Happy Monday, guys. I'll see you guys later in the week.
And that's when you know the industry's in big trouble, when we see all these layoffs, basically.
We just laid off Chris.
Yeah, we did. And yeah, there's a bunch of layoffs going on all across the board. And we're going to start seeing them, and Warner Brothers is going to start feeling that pretty soon. Well, people at Paramount and Warner Brothers, because they're going to basically get rid of anybody who's redundant and keep the best of the two.
That's what I say.
So, yeah. And that's the thing, is this thing is not going to go the way I think a lot of people thought it was. But that being said, Paul, what do you got coming up besides your country song?
I'm going to do an appalling news today, so stay tuned.
Awesome sauce. Paul Lee?
Yeah, I'll be live tonight. So we're going to do a battle of the new box office queens. Zendaya, Sydney Sweeney, Jenna Ortega. We're going to break it all down. Not emotions. It's going to be data. A lot of fun.
Okay. Andre, anything else we need to plug before we go?
Culture Casino, if you didn't say that.
Oh, yes,
Check
Culture
out
Casino.
Culture Casino. Check out our good friends WDW Pro and that Park Place. Check back for more videos later. Yeah, more will be coming.
Indeed.
presumably
And check out our
tomorrow.
Paul Feig, Sydney Sweeney video. Speaking of Sydney Sweeney, if you haven't seen that already. The motherfucker cannot let it go. Decade in, he cannot, and I love how he's hijacking Sydney Sweeney's jeans incident for himself. Check out this video, guys. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But anyhow, take care of yourselves and each other. And as Andre says,
Let's bring on the koalas in the ring.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koala, koala. Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koala, koala. Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain. No fucks given.